The one quality women never forget in a man, psychology explained. Let me say this slowly, because most men miss it. Women are not drawn to noise. They're drawn to inner certainty. Not bravado, not loud confidence, but the quiet, grounded sense of a man who knows who he is and doesn't need to announce it. If you've ever wondered why some men leave a lasting impression while others are easily forgotten, this is the reason. And once you understand it, you'll never approach life or relationships the same way again. A man becomes unforgettable when he is settled within himself, not chasing an identity, not borrowing one from society, not adjusting himself every time the room changes. Most men confuse this with arrogance. They think being sure of yourself means being loud, dominant, or constantly proving a point. But real certainty doesn't argue. It doesn't explain itself. It doesn't beg to be seen. It simply exists. And when a woman encounters that kind of man, something shifts internally. She may not be able to describe it, but she feels safe, intrigued, and grounded around him. That emotional imprint stays. So what does this look like in real life? It's the man who knows his values and lives by them, not rigidly but intentionally. He has thought deeply about what matters to him and what doesn't. Because of that, his decisions are clean. He says yes where it aligns. He says no where it doesn't. No speeches. No apologies. No need for approval. Women notice this immediately because most men don't have it. Most men change their opinions depending on who they're talking to. They soften their boundaries to be liked. They give away their center to keep peace. Then they meet a man who doesn't do that, and it feels different. Not because he's difficult, but because he's at ease with himself. Here, where many men get it wrong. They believe they must arrive first, fix everything, become perfect. Then confidence will come. That's backwards. Certainty doesn't come from having all the answers. It comes from knowing that you are the kind of man who takes responsibility for finding them. A man who grows, a man who learns, a man who adjusts without excuses. That's character. And women never forget a man with character. Not because he never fails, but because of how he responds when he does. Does he blame others, hide, deflect, or does he own his mistakes, learn, and move forward? A man who responds to pressure with honesty and action becomes someone a woman trusts instinctively, someone solid, someone memorable. Let's go deeper. Most men are exhausted because they're constantly performing. They perform for approval, for validation, for acceptance. They rehearse personalities. They wear masks. And women feel this immediately, the tension, the neediness beneath the act. But the man who stops performing, who shows up as himself, flaws included, who doesn't pretend to be complete or perfect, that man stands out. Authenticity has weight. In a world full of imitation, realness is rare, and rarity is memorable. Quick pause here if this is already reframing how you see attraction. Tap the like button or drop a comment saying certainty. It helps more men hear this message. Now let's continue. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You cannot fake this quality. You cannot memorize it. You cannot download it. The moment you treat authenticity like a technique, it disappears. It's not something you apply. It's something you live. Which brings us to an important question. What are you actually doing with your life right now? Not what you plan to do. Not what you talk about doing. What are you building? What are you working toward? What are you willing to sacrifice for? Women sense direction. They can tell when a man is moving toward something versus drifting through life. A man doesn't need massive success. He needs intentional movement. Purpose leaves a signature. A man with purpose wakes up with direction. He's not waiting for life to excite him. He's not waiting for a woman to give him meaning. He is engaged with his own life. That energy is felt, and it's unforgettable. Now let's talk about self-respect, because everything rests on this. Self-respect isn't ego. It's not superiority. It's how you treat yourself when no one is watching. Most men abandon themselves for comfort. They tolerate what drains them. They neglect their health, time, and goals because deep down, they don't believe they're worth the effort. Women see this instantly. A man without self-respect becomes flexible in the worst way, easily moved, easily shaped, easily lost. But a man with self-respect is steady. He protects his time. He maintains standards. He doesn't accept what violates his values. Not to impress, but because he knows his worth. In practice, this looks simple. He's present when he's with her, not distracted, not scrolling, not half gone. He brings his opinions, his worldview, his presence, not a personality designed to please. He's interested but not dependent, open but not empty. He doesn't try to convince. He offers himself calmly. Take it or leave it. That energy is rare, and rare things are remembered. Everything we've discussed ties back to one thing: grounding. A grounded man isn't aggressive. He isn't passive. He's rooted. He doesn't shift with every opinion or emotion around him. He can listen without losing himself. He can be vulnerable without collapsing. He can stand firm without needing to dominate. Most men live at extremes, control or submission. But the man who is both strong and open, certain and adaptable, calm and decisive, that man stands apart. That man is unforgettable. Here's the final truth. This is not about making women remember you. That's a byproduct. This is about becoming a man whose life is worth remembering by anyone. When you live with intention, when you respect yourself, when you move towards something meaningful, you don't chase significance. You embody it. So don't ask, how do I make women remember me? Ask, who do I need to become to live a life that matters? Because when you focus on becoming that man, everything else aligns naturally. If this message resonated with you, subscribe and share it with a man who needs to hear it. We're building men of depth, purpose, and grounding here, and this is only the beginning.